Welcome to People. I'm Shirley Lin. Today my guest is Mr. Emile Sheng, who is the president of L'Hôtel de Chine Group and who's our former cultural minister. Well, let's welcome Mr. Sheng. Hi.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to Shirley and all our listeners.
Well, welcome. Thank you so much for making this time.
Thank you.
Now, first of all, you actually started off as a political science professor at Suzhou University in Taipei before you became cultural minister. Now, did you know all along, I'm curious, that you wanted to go into politics? I mean, how old were you when you first got interested in politics?
Actually, I knew all along that I don't want to go into politics. So I started teaching in 1998 after I got my PhD from Northwestern University.
Okay.
So I started teaching and also working as a political commentator in the media. So at that time, actually, I got a few offers for me to go into politics. I think I remember two most vividly. One asking me to become a legislator at large, and the other one asking me, actually by the current president, while he was the Taipei mayor, he asked me to be the chairman for the Research Evaluation Commission back in 2004. But I think I quite enjoyed my life as a professor, so I actually declined all these offers. And but in 2006, when the current Mayor Hau was first elected in his first term, he really he just won't take no for an answer. So he talked to me 3 times in 6 days because there's a time urgency for him to form his city cabinet, and so because of his persistence, I agreed to join his city government. Actually, that was the same position that Mayor Ma offered me 2 years ago.
Oh.
So if I do have a plan or a political ambition to really go into politics, probably working with then Mayor Ma would be a better choice for a politician's career. Because everybody knows that he's going to run for the next president, and probably he's the front runner at that time. So, but actually, because I wasn't really planning to go into politics, and somehow it happened, and I was also appointed to become the CEO for the Deaflympics organizing committee.
Right, and you did a good job, by the way.
Thank you. And because of that job performance, they thought about asking me to become the cultural minister. So, but I can tell you, because it's already in the past. So, actually, when they first invited me, asked me to become the cultural minister, I also declined because I felt like 2.5 years of public servants, that's enough. That's enough for me. So I quit my job in the city government, and I also declined the offer to be the cultural minister. I went back to Suzhou University teaching. But they kept coming back for the next 3 months. So in the end, they persuaded me to take the job. So I also doubled my function as the cultural minister and also the CEO for the centennial celebration for the country. So now that I think of it, I really had a very unfortunate arrangement, such in the sense that I take one salary for 2 jobs at the same time. Both when I was the city government, I work as I also have to be in charge of the Deaflympics.
Right.
But as the cultural minister, I also double my duty as the CEO for the centennial celebration. So that was 4.5 very busy years.
Yes, definitely. I mean, big projects, on your shoulder. But I must say that, Mr. Sheng, it hasn't been easy, and you did a good job anyway. So, but going back on the fact that you just said you didn't intend to go into politics in the very beginning, so what happened? You haven't really answered this question here.
I think the first time it's really, I think Mayor Hau's personality was really the key point that persuaded me.
So he saw something in you.
Yes. I actually told him that you have more confidence in me than myself. Because at that time, I really my only experience is a professor and a political commentator. I actually told him very frankly that I know I can talk,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if I can really perform and deliver all these functions that you want me to do, because we've seen so many examples where professors really don't do very well in the administrative system because there's very different qualities and tasks. And I don't really have confidence in myself at that time because I don't know whether I can be accustomed to the whole political environment. But he's very persistent, and he did his homework. I told him that I don't like the political environment because too many political struggles within it. And he said, come for a year, and if you don't like it, you can go back to teaching. And you already are promoted to full professor, so you have nothing to lose. And in the end, I told him that my family disagree. So I thought during those kinds of negotiations, that was the final line for me.
Right.
So that it actually means, okay, let's stop the conversation.
Right.
I really can't. But somehow he answered me immediately that, can I talk to your family? Which family members of yours disagree? Can I talk to them?
Oh my goodness.
So that really that response actually really touched my heart. I feel like this mayor is really different from, because to be honest, in the past, this process would go for a few hours, and then when they finally realize that you're really not interested, then they just let go. But this time, I feel like he's so persistent, and so I think 80% of the reason is really because of his attitude that really touched me. So that because you know what, I make only 25% of what I used to make when I go into the public service. And that's a lot of financial sacrifice for a young person starting his career.
So who was the family member that was against you going to politics?
There isn't. I'm really just using that as an excuse.
Excuse?
Yeah, my wife actually is very supportive of my decisions, and I'm really thankful to her, because as a family, the income part, that's a big loss for our family. So because I used to host television programs, and as a TV program host, you actually make a lot more than a government official in Taiwan.